Hey, what's up, guys? So today, I just wanted to talk about how to actually be a tank and where wins meet. Because I noticed that on YouTube, a lot of these videos that claim to be telling you how to be a tank, they're not actually telling you how to be a tank. What they're telling you how to be is be a DPS disguised as a tank. And I just really struggled when I first started playing the game. I was trying to figure out what is the best way to play tank. And all these videos, I'm watching this and I'm like, dude, that doesn't make sense, because that's meant to do more damage. Your job isn't to do damage as a tank. Your job is to tank the damage. All right, so I just want to make a real quick video on everything that you should do, and I'll give a quick explanation as to why. First off, wrong thing. Develop Stormbreaker Spear, 100% necessary. Your abilities, Thundershock isn't really that good. The one that you really want is Storm Roar, which is buffed by the Rock Solid Inner Way, which Rock Solid Inner Way, which I'll talk about later. But this grants you a 20% damage reduction. All right, that is the most important thing. On top of Fury Spear, Drumbeat. What Drumbeat is going to do is it is going to buff your heavy attack damage with your Thundercry Blade. Sunrush Gale for your Thundercry Blade. What this is going to do is it is going to pull enemies against you, and you're going to be able, if you fully complete the skill, you're going to be able to charge up your charge attack way faster. Predator Shield. What this is it is literally a shield. It is really good. And if you have Drumbeat, which is from your R skill, on your Fury, it's called Fury Spear, but on your Stormbreaker Spear, what that is going to do as well is you'll be able to get your Perception skill, Heaven Shift, and this is going to give you a shield, which is the same thing. It's 25% of your HP. I'm pretty sure it's the same. Yep, 25% of your HP, not max HP, just regular HP, and you are going to get a damage buff to your R. Now, that R is for obviously your charge skill, and then you have your varied combo and your heavy attack. But basically all this is just the same thing. It uses up your fighting spirit, which is this down here. This is your fighting spirit. So if I use my R, you'll see that, and then if I do that, that's the varied combo, the last part at the end, and you see that took up another bar of my fighting spirit. So that's it for the martial arts. Inner ways, if you want to be full tank, this is what you're doing. All right, Art of Resistance increases the duration of your HP shields. And then obviously as you move it up, you increase your damage and healing while you're under an HP shield. Trapped Beast, this is going to give you massive basically survivability. So if there's a boss that's one-shotting or there's a one-shot skill, you're going to get 40% of your max HP once you level it up back. And there's going to be a shield, so it's going to go away, but that is going to allow you to survive basically a one-shot kill. And one example is the Sleeping Taoist, where he puts you up into the air, and if one of your teammates doesn't get under you as a donkey, you're pretty much, if you're not full HP, you're gonna die. So that this basically just counteracts that. And it also gives you increased HP based on your solo mode level. Rock Solid. That increases the damage reduction of your Storm Roar by 20% after taunting a boss unit, and by 5% after taunting a non-boss unit. So what this means is you already have the 20% from using the skill. But if I was to go down and use a skill on a boss, I'm going to end up with 40% damage reduction. And if I do it on a mob unit, I'm going to end up with 25, and then I can stack it to be up to back up to 20% to get 40%. So basically, it just starts as a 5%, and then you can work it up to 20% during the fight. But if you're fighting a boss, it's instantly up to the 20%. So as soon as you use a skill and you hit them, it's important you hit them, then you have 40% damage reduction. And then as you level it up as well, you get a 5% damage increase when attacking a taunted unit, and this skill taunts bosses. And then increases your Stone Split attack, which is what your Thundercry Blade and your Spear use. And then this exquisite scenery, this is your important skill, your legendary skill for being a tank. It's for the Thundercry Blade, and it does the stuff with varied combo, like I mentioned earlier, like the third attack on your R, and increases max HP. This is a must-have. These are all honestly a must-have. If you feel like you are usually not needing Trapped Beast, then it's fine to do Morale Chant instead, but this is the only changes you should be making. Mystic skills, now these you can change up a lot more. Golden Body is 100% necessary. It's the only actual tank skill, or only actual tank mystic art in the game, from what I can tell. Everything else I have a reason for what I have, and I'll tell you my reason. So obviously Guardian Palm and Cloud Steps. If you use your this skill on your Mo Blade, it pulls everyone in. And then after it pulls everyone in, then you can hit them with the Cloud Step into Guardian Palm. And it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to help you clear mobs a lot faster in PvE. And then Dragon's Breath, I like using this on bosses. So obviously when you stun the boss, I like to hit them with a fully charged R to do a lot of damage. And then Dragon's Breath. Or in a time where the boss isn't fully attacking, just sort of staying there for like 1 second, I'll use Dragon's Breath to try and get some damage going on it. But these are the only, this one, Golden Body, is the only necessary one in out of all these. Other ones are up to your discretion. If you want to actually be a tank, this is what you should do. Golden Body as well, in case you didn't know, it grants you a shield. And as you upgrade it, its vitality cost originally, like as soon as you get it, it'll probably be extremely high. But after you upgrade it more, you'll get reduced vitality cost. And if your vitality is high enough, like if your vitality is like pretty much full, then your skills will be converted into an AoE shield for all nearby allies. So it's also helping your teammates survive. And if you don't know what your what's it called again? Oh, I just blinked on that. If you don't know what your vitality is, it is going to be right here. So if you watch as I use my art, or not that one, there we go. You can see Dragon's Breath took up some of it. Yep. And then gear, what you want is you want to have Rain Whispers and Moonflare. They both give HP and they both buff your shields. And Moonflare doesn't as much buff your shield as it does. It gives you a possibility of another shield, and it can heal you. So it's still really good. And then as for stats, what you want on them, what you want max HP on everything that you can. And then you also want body on everything that you can. And then I personally like physical defense as well. Once again, you're just taking less damage. But the game doesn't recommend it, but I recommend it. And then you're going to want something like Max Stone Split Attack or Min Stone Split Attack. And anything that buffs your Mo Blade or your Thundercry. Not Thundercry. Your is it Thunderquaker? I don't know what it's called. Yeah, your spear. Whatever. It's whatever buffs your spear and your Mo Blade. But so like for example, if I go in here, Bamboo Cut and Bell Strike does not help me at all. Max HP helps. Physical attack helps, and physical resistance helps. But once again, these do not help. You want something like this, or body, or stone split, or just something along those lines is what you want, and that's gonna help increase your survivability. And then I think the last thing, go into your arsenal, switch your path into stone split. And another important thing to know about the arsenal is that while you might reach past the 550 number and your min and max attack aren't going to go up anymore, what will go up is your HP. So if I got this up to like 2400, my HP, or like if I got this up to 2400 from 2200, then my max HP will probably go up to like 3300. So I don't think the improvements are going to be that huge, but it's still important to keep in mind, if you're really trying to max out, that's what you can do. I think that's pretty much it. If you're trying to do PvP with the tank build, good luck with that. I do not know how to do that because the entire meta is just spamming as much as possible, and I hate it. So good luck with that if you decide to. But that is how you PvE as a tank. And this is not how you PvE, but this is what the build that you want as a tank. If you want to know how to actually fight in boss raids and what you should be thinking about as a tank, I can walk you through that as well. But that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want me to do that video on how to actually fight in like raids as a tank and what you should be thinking about to help your team as much as possible, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, please like, subscribe, maybe whatever. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.